What's up, guys, and welcome to Theory Thursday. Today, I'd like to talk about routines. Routines are such a big thing for humanity. We're creatures of habit. When people think about practice routines, they think those are the things that are going to make me better. And to a certain extent, I agree. But to a certain extent, I don't. You have to change in order to get better. So, doing the same routine every day for the rest of your life is a defeating purpose. And really, in order to grow as a person, you need to plan on changing your routine. The only way to grow is through change. So, today, I'm going to do something I've never done before. Something that a lot of people have told me to do for years. I'm going to write down my practice schedule and stick to it. All right, so to do this, I'm going to just jump into a Word document. I'll call it Routine January 2023. And I'll go ahead and put up practice. So here's what I plan on doing. I'm going to set 5 things to do that I can do in an hour of practice. And I'm going to do this once a day for an hour. I generally practice more than that, but this is going to be a regimen, which I've never done before. And the reason that I don't think that necessarily regimen is good for everybody, so for example, if you have been doing a regimen already of steady practicing and doing the same thing each day, then you're stuck in a rut. Even if you're getting better, you're stuck in a rut. There's a better way to do it. You need to change the way that you practice. I tend to change the way that I practice all the time. I'm not the greatest player, but I'm not bad either. One thing I've never done, though, is write down a set practice schedule. And so I plan on giving that a try. Now, that being said, I will only do it for a certain amount of time. I won't make it the rest of my life. I don't think it's good for you to get stuck into that kind of a thing, because by changing it up, you always get better. You change it up at the gym, you always get stronger. You change it up in life, things change for you. Usually you adapt and things change for the better. Sometimes repetition can be bad. Too much of one thing cannot be good for you, right? So the exact same scale every single day for an hour can give you arthritis or tendonitis. It's good to change things so that your body and your mind can adapt and grow. So this is a change for me, even though it's very regimen. This is something I've never done, so I'm going to do it. So I'm going to start up with a warm-up. So I'll put warm-up. Now this could be scales, could be Hagios. And you can see how bad my spelling is. Not sure that that's spelled right. And I'm going to do picking. Keep it simple. 3 things to warm up. I'm warming up 2 things with my left hand and 1 thing with my right. All the while, I should always do picking. I could probably switch out whether I do scales or arpeggios. Next, I'm going to do something fun. So this might be just jamming a song, like chords to a song, playing along with a song. Then I'm going to do something regimen. This is going to be a learning moment. This is going to be, so I'll just call it learn. Now this can be a new technique, or this could be someone's transcription. So a new technique or transcription. then implement. Now, in the past, with most of my practice schedules, I would always bookend my practice with fun, meaning start with fun, end with fun. This is a little bit different because it's a little bit more regimen. So after I implement the techniques that I've worked on, I probably will go back to something a little bit more regimen, maybe something like a cool down, where I maybe do scales again. Yeah, scales and picking. So this will be my practice schedule for the hour. And what I'll probably do is I'll allot times to each of these. So I will put
10 minutes here. I'll put 5 minutes here. I'll put 30 minutes here. It probably will take some time. And I will put 10 minutes here, then I'll put 5 minutes here. That should be 15, 30, and 30, whatever. Alright, so
that's what my practice schedule is going to look like. So just to kind of go over some of that, I'll give you a synopsis of what my day will look like. So on my warm-up stage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus mainly on a simple scale. I'm going to do 2 notes per string, and I'm going to do double picking so that I can make sure that I'm getting a down attack, an up attack, and then a down attack on the next string. And then what I'll do is I'll extend that to a 3 note per string and work on my attack as I'm switching strings with a down, up, down, and then down into the next string. So what that's going to look like is I'll just do minor pentatonic on A. And this is just a warm-up, so I'm taking it easy and going slow. Now, it's just a warm-up, so I'm not incorporating a metronome, although I do think a metronome is a good idea. So I might do that in some point during the month to add time to make everything even, but it's just a warm-up. All I'm trying to do is loosen up things, get my hands to be like, oh, hey, we're awake now, we're doing something. So then I might do 3 note per string, so it might look like this. And I might do just a major scale. Tone is horrible on this 90s Les Paul. And then, if I still have time left, if that hasn't taken up all 5 minutes, I might do a pattern of some sort. So I might do either a pattern on the pentatonic or a pattern on the major scale. So if it's the pentatonic, I might be like, let's see. All right, so that's 4 notes, and then I'm going back 3 notes, and then I'm going up 4 notes and back 3 notes and up 4 notes. So then I go back 3 notes, or to the second note. So 4 up, if you want to think of it as two down. 4 up, 2 down. 4 up, 2 down. 2 down. And so on. Right? Again, this is for warming up purposes, so it's not necessarily part of your practice. This is just to loosen everything up and get blood flowing to all of your joints. So then you can just jump on to YouTube and put in some kind of backing track and turn it on and just start having fun for 5 minutes. moving right along, as we've had fun, and I probably did a little bit more than 5 minutes there, learning a new technique or transcription. So you can go any direction with this. What I'm going to end up doing, and I'm not going to play too much of it because it's an actual song that I'll get flagged for, but I've been meaning to learn a Steve Lukather lick, a Steve Lukather solo, which was on the American Tail, Five-O Goes West, no, not Five-O Goes West, just American Tail song. What was it called? Somewhere Out There. So there we go. Somewhere Out There. Steve Lukather's playing guitar, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to it and figure out what he's playing, but I'm not going to show you guys because the video will get flagged. So I'm going to spend 30 minutes working on that, and then we'll see where we're at. All right, so I did my half an hour of study, and I have come up with this. It starts with the E Mixolydian. And then he does a bend. And then he's got this here. Really cool. And he does it quick. He comes in on beat 4 with this run. But he picks every single one, which is super cool. Super cool. So Steve Lukather. I love it. So now as we pick up where we left off, so I did my transcription, my new technique or transcription, which was the Steve Lukather thing. I spent 30 minutes. So now I'm going to use the technique and transcription. So what I mean by that is I'm going to take this lick that's in E Mixolydian and figure out what parts of it that I enjoy. The overall, the song is in A, or at least the solo part of the song is in A. So I can keep doing it on the same, along with him, but I also could, again, open up a YouTube, type in backing tracks in A, and we'll just say A major, because that's what this one's in. And then I can try and implement this lick over the top of A major. And then I'll try to use pieces of it. So as I use pieces of it, there's certain parts that I like more than others. So I might really enjoy this part as my intro to the solo, right? So I might try and practice that over an E whenever this progression gets to E, right? Like right there. So I might try to practice that. Right? I might try to practice that over the E, and then I might like some of these other things here, like let's see. This little lick right here is kind of cool. It's kind of an E. So he's kind of, again, outlining E, which E is the 5 chord of A. So it's kind of cool that he's adding this like. And so you could take it different places. I'm not sure in the progression where he lands on it. I don't think it lands back on A minor. I think it's more like F sharp minor at that point, which is kind of cool because he's using that E. So these are all kind of like ideas that I'm getting from his solo that I'm implementing potentially to use over something like this. So then I'll turn this on, and I've only got 10 minutes, right? So I'm going to just, because I don't want to burn out on this particular practice, but so I'll just play through some of this. Right, so on and on. I'm using little pieces from that solo to implement over progression so that I can kind of get ideas of like, okay, this works here, this doesn't work there. I know this sometimes it went to a chord I wasn't expecting because I wasn't trying to follow the chords as much as like just use my ear and use the overall idea of his solo. So there were times when the chords didn't really line up. If I was looking at the chords, I probably could have predicted a little bit better what was going to work, because this little E to F sharp minor doesn't really work so cleanly over a D chord, and at one point I had landed on that. But anyway, so then to finish off everything, the cool down scales and picking, that I would do more like this. This is really just to relax. You've just practiced a lot, so you're just gonna... And the idea here is to play as light and soft as possible. You're not trying to push down too hard with your left hand, and you're not trying to pick too aggressively with your right. You just want it to be... And the idea, again, is not, this is not like a warm-up. It's not to get fast. This is just to kind of cool down. It's just a... You almost want it to be more meditative than actual, like, physical, mental practice. So that is where I'm going to change my practice routine. And again, I'm only going to do it for a short while because I feel like you can run into a rut by getting too regimented and sticking to one specific thing. So today it was the Steve Lukather transcription. Tomorrow it might be a technique of somebody like Frank Gambale or John Schofield. Or it may be another transcription. I haven't thought that far ahead to what tomorrow is. But that's your Theory Thursday. Hopefully you enjoyed and got inspired to write out your own. Let me know in the comments below.